So somebody messaged me the other day and said, Oris, which virgin hair should I sell? And I had to sit with it for a minute because the honest answer is not what they want to hear. They wanted me to say, go and buy this one. This is the one that you should buy. But it's not that simple. And I think I'm going to get in trouble with this video, but I'm going to say it anyway. Most people selling virgin hair don't actually know what they're selling. They just know what their vendor told them. And there's a massive difference between these two. So let me talk about the 3 types of virgin that I have personally tested. And by the end of this video, you're definitely going to know which one is right for you. Because, spoiler, it's definitely not the one that you think. So the first one, let's just say is lower tier. This is what a lot of people will call fiber hair. And honestly, the name is already telling you something. Fiber. It's definitely giving you a clue. It's not synthetic, let me be clear, but it's the close cousin to synthetic. It's that close, like your first cousin level. Now, this is the hair you would always see on TikTok shop where you see all of these TikTok creators wearing it and say, for only $50 or for only £50, this is human hair. This is good hair. Yeah, that's that one. But you know, when you go online and when you go on Shein and you see the clothes, it looks really nice on the website. And then you're like, oh, cute. This is giving designer. And you order it. And after washing it, you look at the same top and you're like, why does this look horrible? The shape of that top is gone. The fabric is wobbly. It doesn't look as shiny or as glorious as it looked on the website. That is exactly what the hair is. It looks the part until life happens to it. And the reason for that is something that the industry call floor hair. And it's exactly what you hear. Floor hair. In many countries like India, I'm going to use India as an example because it's the major exporter when it comes to hair. In countries like India, where there's been a lot of hair taking, they've donated their hair. All of the hair that drops on the floor is what is called floor hair. And there is levels to this. So everything is floor hair, but they do have levels. The lower tier that we are talking about right now is the bottom bag one. You know, the ones that they probably picked it up from somewhere. They probably swept it with the floor dust and everything. Yes, it's the bottom of the barrel. And honestly, half of it is a bin. Like, it's something that they should just naturally just throw away. But obviously, they're trying to squeeze every dollar out of every investment. And to make it look like something that you actually want to wear, they always coat it and they do some processing with it. Some people call it silicone. They dip it, they spray, they do whatever to make it sellable. And guess what? The hair comes out looking silky and very shiny. And you're looking at this hair and you're like, what? This is giving good quality. But baby, the minute it touches that hair, it's going to like, what am I doing? I hope you understand. I'm actually trying to describe how the hair would like react to it, right? Once it touches it, it just goes funny. And sometimes you may actually see it would be fine. You can smell it, but it's not going to go like this. It's going to be okay, but it's not going to curl properly. It's not going to look good. Even after curling it, before you go from here to there, the curls are already down because it's not made to be curled. And the vibe it gives is very rubbery, like plasticky, and it never lays flat. So it's like always hanging. I'm so sorry. This is so funny because when I see it on social media, I could just tell from a mile off. It never lays flat. It's like very like I am here. I have arrived. I'm so sorry. Honestly, I'm hoping that this. Okay, let me just compose myself right now because this is making me laugh. The thing about it is that people still buy it. People still buy it, even though it's looking off on the website. The reason why is because a lot of people genuinely don't know the difference. They just see hair. They feel like it's affordable and it's cheap. And they're like, okay, it says human hair. Yeah, let me grab it. And they're happy with it. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that nobody's making money off this tier. They are making money. And they do actually get a lot of sales, even though you could clearly see that the hair is not okay. But like I said, people genuinely don't know the difference. Now, the middle tier, this is the popular one. This is the one that most of us have bought. It's Brazilian, it's Peruvian, it's Malaysian. Yeah, that one. And here's what nobody explains, right? That hair is actually from the same source as the lower tier. And a lot of it is being collected. But the difference is that it started with a better quality hair. Even though it's collected, it's not the bottom barrel collection. They have done a much better processing to it so that the hair comes out better. So it behaves well, it takes curl, and it colors to a certain level. This kind of hair, you wouldn't get to a 613 level. But you can still get like a nice honey blonde color or a nice brown color. So it feels like real hair, but it's still processed hair. And this is very popular in the Gen Z world. I'll probably say the much younger Gen Z, where there isn't a lot of high income. Also, it may be things like they buy a lot of hair very often, so they don't believe in spending too much on a higher or premium hair. Something that I should have mentioned is that lower tier usually would last between 3 to 6 months. And if you're wearing those kind of hair every day, then obviously it's not going to last more than 3 months. But some people still wear it regardless because, like I said, they don't know the difference. And then mid tier is more like 1 to 2 years. And this is more like, you've worn it and it looks nice. You've curled it, it looks nice. But after a while, you tend to see that, okay, this hair is not looking really nice. This is because the processing on the hair has expired. And this usually expires the more you wash the hair and the more you use the hair. And again, this makes money. There's a lot of market for this. Then you've got your premium tier. This is where it gets really messy because a lot of Chinese vendors are actually very cheeky. This is the type of hair that they would call raw hair because this is their own definition of raw hair. Honestly, it's so very close to raw hair. This is because they have processed the hair to make it look like raw. I feel like there's a vendor that does this a lot. I can't remember the name. If I do remember the name, I'll put it on here. They call their hair raw hair. They portray the hair like it's like Vietnamese raw. They do the banding like it's Vietnamese and everything. And from me, as someone that has bought a lot of hair, I can clearly see that it's not raw. But if you're someone that you're a beginner and you're not really sure, you actually think this is raw. I've actually had a customer buy hair from these people before, and then she told me, oh, the hair is raw. But when it got to me, I was like, no, it's not raw, but it's also good hair. The proper way to describe this kind of hair is like an unaligned cuticle hair that has been realigned and processed so that it's usable. So meaning that the cuticles weren't going in one direction, which means that there are different donors in the hair. In order to make it really good and to give that high quality processing, they have realigned the hair and then processed it to make it look like it's raw. And also you can leave this hair till 6:13. So this is why I always tell my mentees when they say, oh, I got the hair, I thought it was raw hair because it lifted to 6:13. No, good premium virgin hair would actually lift to 6:13. And honestly, for customers, this is actually more than enough for them. Having this kind of high-level premium hair is more than enough because it's not as expensive as raw hair, and you also get that raw hair feeling from it. Now, here's where I'm going to lose some of you because you probably came here for me to tell you the tier that makes the most money. I am about to tell you something different. Any of them, even the lower tier, the mid tier, and the top tier, any of them can actually make you money. And I'm serious. I've seen people build 6-figure, 7-figure business on the lower tier side. And I've also seen people do the exact same thing on the top tier. The hair is not the thing. The hair has never been the thing. It's the strategy around the hair. The thing about it is lower tier, you need more volume. So you need to push a lot more units to make considerably high profit. And this is why you see on TikTok where Chinese vendors have kind of like bombarded that tier because they've made it easier for people to actually buy on TikTok. So they are all over it, which means that as small business, it might be a bit difficult for you pushing the tier because the customers can get the quality that you're selling from TikTok shop or from Amazon. The only thing that you can do as a person is that the way you sell it, you can build a brand about it. You can have a unique selling point around the hair. Yours may be a bit different. Yours may be like, oh, mine lasts longer than 6 months. Look at what people are complaining about under the comments and then switch it and make yours better. And for the mid-tier, you're kind of playing with a relationship game. You want that repeat customer because the reason why a lot of younger generations go for mid-tier because they change their hair a lot and they don't believe in spending so much on hair. Don't get me wrong, they love the look of it, but they're like, I'm not going to pay that price because that's just what it is because they like to change their hair quite often. So you need to build that trust. You need to create content around trust, content that makes them come back. And for the top tier, you don't need to do so much like you would for raw hair because obviously your pricing will not be as high as raw hair, but you kind of have to be close. Your positioning has to show that, okay, my hair is a little bit different from the lower tier and the mid tier, but this is why I'm different. Because when it comes to virgin, a lot of people actually qualify all of them as one, but they are not actually one. So if you're selling yours a lot more expensive, like someone like a younger generation or somebody that really buys mid-tier would not understand why yours is more expensive. So highlighting the benefit, like telling them that usually for top tier, they usually would last 3 to 4 years, depending on how well you care for it. So just highlighting the longevity of the hair, highlighting the fact that you can actually lift this hair to 613 because a lot of younger generation, even though they like the mid-tier, a lot of them will love to be able to lift their hair to 613. So just highlighting these features, creating content for people to actually see what you're highlighting and why the hair is different is really important. So when someone asks me what makes the most money or which one they need to sell, I always ask them back this question: which one matches the business that you're actually building? Because like I've mentioned in so many videos of mine, your avatar is really important. When I say your avatar, the customer that you want to sell to will determine the type of hair that you need to sell. So a lot of people walk forward rather than walking backwards and understanding the customer first before they go on to choose the hair that they want to sell. And this is the kind of stuff that we'll be working through with the girls inside Ori's hair room. Understanding your customer, understanding your budget, how to price it, how to position the market, how to understand not just the skill strategy of things, the business strategy in order to be profitable. And not just being profitable, making sales. When you make sales and you make good sales and you understand pricing and positioning, you're definitely going to be profitable. So if you're open to joining Ori's hair room and you just want to become part of the family, you can check the link in the description. If it's still open, you can join. If not, it means it is closed for the month. So you can get on the waiting list so that you get notified once it reopens. And you might do things differently, and that's fine. But I believe that a lot of people are doing it the wrong way around, where they are buying bundles first before they actually understand the market. And that's why they start selling, they don't see sales, they don't see profit, and they're thinking, oh my God, nobody knows me, nobody wants to buy from me. And that's exactly why you're stuck. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your comments, for your like, and all of your feedbacks. I appreciate it. It's day 30, I think. Yeah, it's day 30 out of 100. And I'll see you tomorrow.